Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sister Wives star Kody Brown was candid about the reasons for the failure of his marriages to Christine Brown, Janelle Brown, and Meri Brown. He was only in an exclusive relationship with Robyn Brown, his only surviving wife, after his first 3 marriages ended between 2021 and 2023. Kody is currently concentrating on getting over his 3 divorces and going on with his life. Kody came to the realization that he no longer wanted to pursue polygamy in Sister Wives Season 19. Robyn, however, stated that if there were assurances of future success, she would be open to attempting polygamy once more. In a recent Sister Wives Season 19 tell-all video that TLC shared, Kody appeared to take ownership in the breakdown of his 3 marriages. He acknowledged that when the husband develops feelings for one of the wives, polygamy cannot thrive in the home. He acknowledged that his relationships with Meri, Janelle, and Christine ended as a result of his growing affections for Robyn. "I fell in love. Hard, exclaimed Kody. Kody at last acknowledged that he was to blame for the breakdown of his relationships with Christine, Janelle, and Meri. Rather than trying to blame his ex-wives for everything, he is now accepting responsibility. Their polygamous family fell apart because Kody continuously accused Meri, Janelle, and Christine of not being good sister wives to Robyn throughout the years. He accused Christine of not building strong relationships with other sister wives and told Meri he didn't want to be intimate with her. It was the first time Kody had ever acknowledged his own shortcomings on camera. Kody finally seems to have the courage to admit that he was genuinely in love with Robyn from the beginning. He also acknowledged that the dissolution of his previous marriages was influenced by his affections for Robyn. In the end, it's encouraging to see Kody acknowledge that his relationship with Robyn played a significant role in the breakup of his marriages to his other 3 wives. Rather than continue to blame his prior marriages, he took responsibility for the results. Kody's admittance should hopefully mark a positive turning point in his life and aid in his personal development. As previously stated by all 3 sister wives, Kody's close relationship with Robyn caused him to disregard his obligations to them. Christine even claimed that Kody seldom ever saw her, as he probably preferred spending time at his favorite wife's place. The unique link between Kody and Robyn was known to all members of the family, but they consistently refused to acknowledge it. But at last, Kody has come clean and acknowledged his own mistakes. Fans of Sister Wives may find him more likable as a cast member because of his increased openness and readiness to accept responsibility. The tell-all portion of Sister Wives Season 19 has finally concluded. Some alarming new information concerning the relationship between Kody Brown and his ex-wives was disclosed in the 4-part one-on-one interviews. Throughout the episode, he repeatedly denied accusations and disregarded several of Suki's queries, displaying shows of animosity towards them. However, after Kody displayed startling conduct, numerous fans were perplexed by the tell-all ending. Read on to find out what transpired. Sister Wives. Kody Brown discusses his objectives. One of Kody's most significant remarks during Tell-All Part 4 concerned his alleged goals for his family. According to the Sister Wives star, he aspired to build a household where everyone collaborated. Even after moving his family to Flagstaff, he made it apparent that this was his primary goal. After everything in Flagstaff fell apart, Kody said that he lost faith. When asked if he's happy now, Kody replied that he and Robyn and their children are content in their home. Additionally, he thinks that as long as he ignores his ex-wives' incessant accusations against him, he will remain content. When asked if he would be willing to repeat the plural marriage, Kody responded bluntly, "No." At tell-all, was Kody coerced into cooperating? On social media, some Sister Wives fans talked about Tell-All Part 4's startling conclusion. The screen went black as Suki and Kody said their final goodbyes, but Kody's voice could still be heard pleading, "Cut the cameras, please." This sparked rumors that he wanted the conversation to end because he was so angry at being asked things he didn't like. Others, however, interpreted as evidence that Kody frequently acts as like he controls everything, which supports the ex-wives' concerns about him. Additionally, it appears from Kody's remarks that he was coerced into answering questions that weren't intended for him. In addition, the OP stated that if they were in control, they would punish Kody by terminating his contract and giving the three ex-wives a new show. He must act as though he is in charge. He most likely had to give his ego a final boost and was compelled to work with Suki. This is precisely what it is. The appearance of control. He merely ends up appearing more like the fool that he is, of course. I've heard that's the reason Tamron Hall no longer performs the tell-alls. She reportedly crossed a line as well. Sister Wives. Was Tamron Hall fired because of Kody Brown? Along with his controlling conduct, Kody Brown gained notoriety for supposedly being the reason behind Tamron Hall, their former tell-all host, being fired. Meri and Tamron concurred in a reunion interview that Robin and Kody might have been major factors in her dismissal as the Sister Wives tell-all presenter. When it comes to her inquiries, Tamron is renowned for not holding back. However, when Tamron questioned Kody's choice to divorce Meri in order to lawfully wed Robin, things took a significant turn in Season 9. Since then, a lot of fans have thought that Kody has been defending Robin and has a deeper kind of love for her, which he now acknowledges. Because of Kody's deteriorating relationship with his ex-wives, there are rumors that Season 20 will be cancelled. However, Suki asserted in a podcast that Kody has been making every effort to be there for his children. Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, has always had a peculiar way of expecting things to work out for him. He has this ridiculous mindset, believing that the world will have to change because he can say and do anything. We recently witnessed yet another instance of his absurd actions. He showed off his sexy accomplishments, but he also stalled when the host questioned him. It's disgusting that he considers himself to be a king, even if this is nothing new. The fourth and last segment of the tell-all was recently broadcast on TLC. Everybody enjoyed a unique one-on-one chat with host Suki Krishnan during the program. Kody and Suki talked further about his sexual encounter and how he had sex with Meri before to getting married throughout the session. Kody began bragging about his abilities, and he rebuffed Suki's attempts to probe further. The Sister Wives star said that his college life was chaotic. Sister Wives. Kody acknowledges loving Robin more than others. At last, Kody Brown acknowledged that he preferred Robin on the Sister Wives Season 19 tell-all. Compared to his first 3 marriages, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, he admitted to being more loving with her. He acknowledged that one instance went too far, even though he maintained that his spouses were okay with public shows of affection. Kody revealed that the other wives were so enraged by a PDA-filled episode involving Robin that they expelled the couple. Kody corroborated the amazement expressed by host Sukanya Krishnan and called the repercussions vitally detrimental. Sister Wives. Kody Brown shuts up Suki while boasting about his sex life. Brown's arrogance has always been evident. He revealed in the most recent tell-all that he led a crazy life before to marrying Meri. He revealed that he had a couple sexual encounters in college, similar to the one he had previously recounted when Suki pressed him for specifics. Before getting married, Kody had an affair, which left him in a bad place because it went against his religious convictions. Since Kody has always been a devout churchgoer, his fans were taken aback by this news. But in the most recent episode, he acknowledged that he led a wild life and had multiple affairs. In college, he even referred to himself as a Mormon naughty because of his extramarital affairs. Kody clarified that although he would give hugs and kisses, he would never engage in sexual activity with anyone. The admission startled Suki, who made fun of him for it. Up until a certain point, Kody was joking about it, but he abruptly stopped. Since he is now married and would not carry on the communication out of respect for his wife, he begged Suki to end it. This was quite strange because, until now, he was openly disclosing information about his sex activities. Suki went so far as to say that this was all for fun. "No, we're not talking about my sexuality," Kody retorted. Kody went on to rant that people don't care about his life, even though they do. People simply go too far in his personal life. Thus, the discussion is now complete. They were only having fun, Kody insisted. According to Christine Brown, star of Sister Wives, her turbulent marriage to her ex-husband Kody Brown lacked emotional depth and connection. It was a thrill and absolutely enjoyable for a long time. You know, we just had a lot of good times, Christine, 53, said in a preview for the Sunday, June 8th edition of Sister Wives, one-on-one of her marriage to Kody, 56. But in 2014, when Kody legally married Robin Brown, his fourth wife, everything changed for Christine. I thought, oh, there clearly is something lacking here, when he married Robin. However, it was already so nearly done at that point, she remarked plainly. In her explanation of the lack of intimacy that characterized their relationship, Christine points out that Kody failed to support her emotionally, romantically, physically, or financially when they were together. She claims that by that time, she was independent at that point. Christine, who was initially physically content in their relationship, considers how eventually turned into just an act between her and Kody, devoid of any true feeling. She acknowledged, well, used is a word, but maybe he felt used too, as she considered their evolving relationship, as if we might simply take advantage of one another. It had no significance. Christine thinks that as the years passed, they became apathetic. Like, maybe. We kind of have to, I suppose. Perhaps there was only a physical desire that was satisfied, she proposed. Christine concurred with host Sukanya Krishnan's suggestion that had become into a marital obligation for the couple. Probably for us both. Yes. Sad, she answered. Christine wasn't afraid to acknowledge how messed up their lives had become. It was never the she admitted. God, it was just so broken, and that they didn't bring up the subject. We were both aware that something was missing and insufficient. And you understand there's a problem when you have 5 times a year and you ask yourself, do we really want to talk about it? She went on to say, we had a discussion about intimacy, and it was about whether or not we would have any intimacy in our marriage. No, he replied. For Christine, that was a pivotal time. I'm like, you're done the next time you visit. You will no longer be staying here. You're not welcome in my bed. We're finished, she declared. In November 2021, Christine became the first of Kody's spouses to depart, making history. She fell in love with David Woolley more than a year after their spiritual divorce, and they were married in October 2023. Following her departure, Christine paved the way for Kody's other spouses. Meri Brown and Kody jointly announced their separation in January 2023, while Janelle Brown followed suit and departed in December 2022. ChatGPT said, Sister Wives Kody Brown finally reveals the real reason polygamy was a total failure. It wasn't about the wives, it was about me. In a moment fans never thought they'd see, Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown has finally come clean, and this time, there were no rehearsed lines, no deflections, and no finger-pointing at the women who once called him husband. Sitting in a raw, unfiltered interview segment for what TLC is teasing as the most honest tell-all in the show's history, Kody dropped the bombshell confession that many viewers have been waiting more than a decade to hear. Polygamy didn't fail because of Christine. It didn't crumble because of Janelle or Meri. And Robin wasn't the villain. According to Kody himself, polygamy failed because I was never capable of making it work. I just wouldn't admit that to myself. That stunning admission has left longtime Sister Wives viewers shaken, vindicated, and, most of all, emotional. For years, fans watched as the Brown family slowly unraveled. What began as a united plural household, founded on the belief that more wives meant more love, more unity, and a richer spiritual life, eventually became a cautionary tale. Christine left in 2021. Janelle followed shortly after. Meri held on longer, but even she stepped away in 2023. What remained was Kody and Robin, the so-called last wife standing, and a trail of emotional wreckage, unhealed wounds, and children who were increasingly distant and disillusioned. But in this moment of rare vulnerability, Kody didn't lash out. He looked inward. The truth is, Kody said, voice cracking, I didn't know how to love each woman the way she needed to be loved. I thought fairness was about treating everyone the same. But what each wife needed from me was totally different, and I was too stubborn to listen. And then came the sentence that echoed through the fandom like a thunderclap. Polygamy wasn't built to work in the modern world, not the way I was doing it. I thought I was being righteous. But really, I was just being selfish. That level of self-awareness is something viewers have been demanding for years. Through countless seasons, fans watched Kody become more defensive, more aggressive, and more isolated. The early seasons of Sister Wives showed a man who at least tried to juggle affection and attention. But by the later episodes, especially around the time Christine began to voice her unhappiness, Kody's version of polygamy began to look less like a spiritual calling and more like a power imbalance. And now, for the first time, Kody is confirming what many suspected. His vision of polygamy wasn't grounded in faith or fairness. It was about control, about ego, about proving something to his church, to his family, to himself. I thought if I could manage 4 wives, that made me special, he admitted. I wanted to believe I was doing something noble, something godly. But all I did was spread myself too thin and expect the women to pick up the slack. One of the most powerful moments in the interview came when Kody acknowledged how deeply he had hurt Christine. She was the first to see through it. I used to think she was just being rebellious. But now I see she was being brave. She didn't want her kids growing up thinking that love meant being tolerated. He also spoke at length about Janelle, whom he once described as his intellectual equal, and how he failed to emotionally support her. Janelle always made things work. She was the glue. But I took her strength for granted. I thought, she's fine. But she wasn't. She needed a partner, not a ghost. And then came the unexpected acknowledgement of Meri, the wife with whom he shared the most complicated and painful history. With Meri, I punished her for years. After our emotional disconnect, I just stopped trying. And I convinced myself it was her fault. I was wrong. Even Robin, long seen by fans as Kody's favorite and shield, wasn't spared from his revelations. I leaned on Robin because she made me feel like I could still lead a family. But in doing that, I turned her into a scapegoat. The other wives resented her, but that was on me. I made her the exception, and that destroyed any chance of unity. These words are nothing short of seismic for the Sister Wives universe. For years, critics and casual fans alike debated whether Kody was even capable of introspection. But now, as he sits across from the interviewer, eyes glassy and hands trembling, it's clear, this isn't the Kody Brown we used to know. He's not angry. He's not defensive. He's just broken and honest. When asked whether he'd ever consider polygamy again, Kody shook his head. Absolutely not. I don't believe in it anymore. He went on to say that polygamy doesn't make you more spiritual, and that his attempt to live that lifestyle came from a place of religious obligation and pride, not love. The internet exploded. Reddit threads lit up with thousands of comments. Fans praised the confession, but many weren't ready to forgive. Glad he finally sees it, one commenter wrote, but look at all the damage in his wake. Others were more hopeful. Maybe this is the first step to healing for the whole family. The truth had to come from him eventually. Even Christine herself responded in a brief Instagram post that seemed to reference the interview. Growth is painful, but truth brings peace. Meri posted a cryptic quote to her stories. Sometimes the apology you deserve never comes, but healing anyway is the real victory. Janelle? Silent. But her recent photos from North Carolina, where she's been living a refreshed, empowered life, speak volumes. And Robin? While Kody spoke kindly of her, her face during his admission was somber. She may be the last wife standing, but even she looked as though she was mourning something, perhaps the fantasy of the family she once believed in. Kody wrapped up the segment with a final thought. I wanted to lead. I ended up breaking more than I built. And I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed to tell the truth. So what now? TLC hasn't confirmed whether Sister Wives will return for another full season, or if this tell-all marks the end of the Brown family's televised journey. But what's clear is that Kody Brown has fundamentally shifted the narrative. Whether too little too late or the beginning of a deeper reconciliation, his admission that polygamy failed because of his own pride is the moment fans have waited for. And in the quiet after the storm, one thing stands tall. Truth, however painful, is finally on the table. Christine thinks that as the years passed, they became apathetic. Like, maybe. We kind of have to, I suppose. Perhaps there was only a physical desire that was satisfied, she proposed. Christine concurred with host Sukanya Krishnan's suggestion that S had become into a marital obligation for the couple. Probably for us both. Yes. Sad, she answered. Christine wasn't afraid to acknowledge how messed up their lives had become. It was never the S, she admitted. God, it was just so broken, and that they didn't bring up the subject. We were both aware that something was missing and insufficient. And you understand there's a problem when you have S 5 times a year and you ask yourself, do we really want to talk about it?